Namaste. Today I'm talking about a likely near future situation in Nepal that has been playing in our minds since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. This concerns the return of hundreds of thousands of Nepalese youth who are working all over the world. While this is a welcome sign for the country, the big question is the country ready to bring them back and engage them, make use of them, and create conducive environment to make their occupation sustainable and beneficial for reaping economic benefits. It has been estimated that more than 5.5 million Nepalese are working abroad. यो भनेको देशको झन्डै 20% जनता हो। भारत बाहेक अन्य देशहरूमा 20 लाखभन्दा बढी श्रमजीवी कार्यरत छन्। Until recently, monthly exodus exceeded 30,000 with proper labor permit for overseas employment. Now, why are Nepalese going abroad in such huge droves? Every month, the working age population of Nepal increases by minimum 35,000, requiring over 286,000 jobs every year. नेपाल जस्तो सानो अर्थतन्त्रमा यो ठुलो चुनौती हो. There are numerous reasons why Nepalese youth have been going abroad for employment. Not all of them go abroad for lack of adequate means of economic subsistence back home. But for one, higher education जसमध्ये अधिक फर्कनन्, two, better working environment with good earning potential, three, lure of working and living in developed economies, and four, आफन्तहरू र साथीभाइहरूको बोलावट. Now, USA alone has more than 65,000 students out of around 300,000 Nepalese living there. UK is another country with over 200,000 Nepalese, followed by Australia with over 120,000 Nepalese population, including above 52,000 students. Japan has more than 90,000 Nepalese population, many of them working. यस्तै दक्षिण कोरियामा 40,000 नेपाली कार्यरत छन्. कोरियन भाषा सिकेर अर्धदक्ष कामदार जाने यो प्रमुख देश बनेको छ. Now, another reason for increase of labor migration in the previous decade was the 10-year-long Maoist insurgency that prompted hundreds of thousands to flee the fertile domestic lands and settle for more harder work abroad amidst temperatures that remain above 40 degrees Celsius around the year. From 2015 onwards, this decade, more people went abroad due to the introduction of free visa and free air ticket policy. The introduction by the government of special incentive schemes as financial support for those who come back and start their own venture has also lured the youth to go abroad to gain exposure. Thus, many have taken this as an opportunity not only to earn but also see new places and learn new technology. अब हेरौँ को कति फर्किने अवस्थामा छन् त. केही समय यता केही नेपाल फर्केका युवाहरूले आफ्नै सानोतिनो व्यवसाय सुरु गरेका छन्. This has happened basically in their own family land, bulk of which had remained barren due to lack of manpower. Many people came back due to abuses, mental or psychological, underpaid by the employers, and in many cases not paid as per the contract. अहिले कोरोना भाइरसको कारण थुप्रै कामदारले रोजगारी गुमाइरहेको छ. कारण काम दिने कम्पनीहरू आफै काम या त घटाउँदैछन् या त बन्दै गर्नुपर्ने अवस्थामा पुगेका छन्. नयाँ योजनाहरू गर्ने त सम्भावना समेत छैन. This is going to be a major challenge for Nepalese government, who has been depending on remittances received from these workers intensively since more than 2 decades for maintaining its balance of payment and financing all its import activities. The annual remittance, which has exceeded $8 billion, forms more than 26% of our annual GDP. 70% to 90% of the remittance is spent by about almost 7 to 8 million dependents in Nepal, helping the liquidity situation in the market to stay buoyant. Now, talking about the Indian front, it's believed that over 3.5 million Nepalese work all over India. Following COVID-19 pandemic, majority of them working in lower class works as security guards, domestic workers, restaurant and hotel workers, kitchen helps, porter service, etc. have been laid off. गत 7 हप्ताको दौरानमा भारतमा कार्यरत लाखौं नेपाली लकडाउनको अवस्थामा समेत खुल्ला सिमानाको फाइदा उठाउँदै देश भित्रिएका छन्. यीमध्ये 3-4 लाखभन्दा अधिक नफर्कन सक्ने अवस्था समेत छ। अब if we talk about the non-Indian front, as of now it's estimated that over 500,000 Nepalese are planning to come back, as many are facing hardships due to loss of jobs, and already countries like UAE and Kuwait are pressurizing the Nepalese government to take back over 100,000 people. With global oil prices tumbling down in double digits, the Gulf countries are losing their revenue. They are either slowing down their ongoing projects or not planning any new projects for some time. And in the process, over 300,000 people are set to lose their job immediately, and over the next few months, another 300,000 could be laid off in the Gulf and many more in Malaysia. Many thousands of Nepalese working even in advanced economies like USA, UK, Australia, Europe, and etc. have lost their jobs and are struggling to live. They are so desperate to come back home. सम्पूर्ण रूपमा कमसेकम 10 लाख नेपाली विदेश पुनः नफर्किने अवस्थामा छन् भने विदेशमा कामदारको आवश्यकता अब केही महिना नहुने हुँदा प्रति महिना 30,000 को दरमा कामदारको संख्या थपिँदै जान्छ र एक वर्षमा करिब 3 लाख थप बेरोजगार हुन्छन्। मतलब तिनीहरूमा आश्रित 40-50 लाख अन्य नेपाली जनताको समेत रोजीरोटीको गुम्न सकिने सम्भावना छ। अझ होटल, रिजोर्ट, रेस्टुरेन्ट र अन्य पर्यटन उद्योगसँग सम्बन्धित 5 लाख अधिक श्रमिकहरू समेत बेरोजगारको अवस्थाबाट जोगाउन थप चुनौती हुनेछ। Now, does Nepal have any tangible plans for the returning nationals? Well, Nepal does have many areas that can accommodate its homecoming nationals. But a disturbing million-dollar question is, does our government have the required efficiency and the willingness to formulate the right policies and execute them? Can our national manpower planning clearly spell out demand and supply situation of human resources in various sectors in the country? Can we mobilize correct and adequate resources to equip our manpower? अब नेपाल सदियौंदेखि कृषि प्रधान देशको रूपमा चिनिएको छ। About 46% of our population or 81% of the economically active population are engaged in agriculture, which forms approximately only 27% of our GDP. This is due to the underutilization of our cultivable land, estimated at over 3.2 million hectares or 64 million ropanis. Only about 78% of this land has been cultivated, hence 22% going wastage, primarily due to unavailability of adequate manpower. Out of the cultivated land, less than 50% has irrigation facilities, thus depleting land productivity. Worldwide rice productivity per hectare is 4.4 metric ton, whereas it's barely 2.4 metric ton in Nepal. Now, we don't require rocket scientists to calculate the volume of production if we can cultivate to the full potential of our cultivable land by irrigating larger percentage of them. The food production in terms of rice, wheat, maize and pulses, besides the cash crops, will be minimum twice the present volume if we can engage the returning population in these activities. Over the last 2 decades, from net exporter of surplus rice and other food grains, Nepal has become importer of many of the food items, including rice, which we import about 20 billion rupees per annum, wheat, pulses, vegetables, you name it. With enhanced productivity, we could reduce the import and even reverse the trend and become net exporter. This means mobilizing the right modern agricultural equipment, the right kind of seeds, right kind of fertilizers, building modern storage facilities, building right market channels, and controlling market pricing in a systematic manner. Building food processing industries and constructing marketing channels are additional ways of enhancing the economic activity in the agro-food industry. Each of these activities require substantial planning for execution, and hence every step will require layers of manpower that the government must be able to plan and mobilize. Another big employment opportunity lies in augmenting the manpower required in our manufacturing sector, which has been massively depending on the Indian manpower, as our own manpower has depleted due to the foreign migration. We have witnessed diminishing activities in lots of industries related to carpet and garment manufacturing, due to the lack of Nepalese workers. वीरगञ्ज, विराटनगर, जनकपुर, भैरवा, नेपालगञ्ज जस्ता औद्योगिक क्षेत्रहरूमा अवस्थित सयौँ उद्योगहरूले दशौँ हजार भारतीय श्रमिकहरूलाई महँगो रोजगारी दिइराखेका छन्, कारण हाम्रा आफ्नै नागरिकहरू तेस्रो देशहरूमा काम गर्न गएका छन्. Hence, the COVID-19 could be a blessing in disguise for Nepal, as the returning people who they need to work in Nepal, and with many having acquired technical skills and knowledge. Many of them have worked in harsh conditions, faced abuses, and realized that the amount they actually save is really not substantial after paying off the expensive private borrowings they make for going abroad. Many of them will possibly be coming back with the realization that their own home country can offer them more comfortable working environment and allow them to contribute to the society and the nation as whole. And they can be with their loved ones in the family and never ever have to worry about going hungry again. I hope you like my presentation. I look forward to receiving valuable feedbacks, comments from your side. I'll come back again with next topic next time. Thank you. Namaste.